and detained without trial, State versus Pastor Paul Mackenzie. So more details on this Shakahola tragedy captured on pages 2, 3, 4, and 5. Also on the front page of the Daily Nation, pressure mounts on Ruto Raila to hold talks. The international community is piling pressure on President William Ruto and opposition leader Raila Odinga to dialogue and end killings and destruction of property as a result of anti-government protests. Also at the very top here, wave of arrests and abductions raises concern. President William Ruto's leadership style has come under scrutiny, with opposition leaders alleging the return of the Dark Kanu era following reports of arrests, abductions, torture, and killings. In agriculture, senators want fertilizer distributed at ward level. People with suppressed HIV viral loads may not spread the virus, says WHO, the World Health Organization. And on sports, Gor Mahia pays dearly for contract breaches. The 20-time Kenyan champions have been locked out of Africa's Premier Club competition, and that is the CAF Champions League, for failing to honor payment agreements it made with 3 players. So that is the front page of the Daily Nation. Let's take a look at the Taifa Leo, the Business Daily, the Standard, the Star, and the East African, as well as People Daily in that order. Moving on now to the Business Daily. Kenya lures China to rival France for 184 billion shilling road. Let's just take a look at some of the details contained herein. And this particular report is penned by Dominic Omondi. President William Ruto's administration has presented the 184 billion shilling Mao Summit Highway to Chinese investors following a fallout with the French over price in the latest twist to the controversy surrounding the funding of what promises to be Kenya's biggest road project. Sharing the front page is this report by Patrick Alushula. EAC currencies gain against dominant Kenyan shilling. And the Kenyan shilling has lost nearly 20% of its value against regional currencies in a year, weakening its dominant position in the region in a trend that is serving pain to traders importing goods from Uganda and Tanzania. The Kenyan currency is now priced at about 19.7% lower than the Uganda shilling when compared with mid-July last year, while its value against the Tanzanian shilling and Rwandese franc has also dropped by 12.1% and 4.4% respectively in the same period. The Central Bank of Kenya data shows that one Kenya shilling was averaging 25 Uganda shillings and 80 cents, 17 Tanzanian shillings and 30 cents, and 8 Rwandan francs and 30 cents at the start of trading last Friday. For an explanation, I'll invite you to purchase your copy of the Business Daily on the e-paper donation.africa. Okay, on the ticker, how Total escaped embarrassment damages in customer fuel card saga. High Court Judge Chachamwita quashed early award, saying the trial court erred in holding that there was a breach of contract and wrongly awarded damages to a company for illegal detention and mental distress. Duty-free maize imports plan flops on costly supplies. Kenya's plan to import about 900,000 tons of white maize by next month has run into headwinds on costly global supplies. The latest data from the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock Development shows barely 1/3 of the desired imports had landed in the country by the end of June, ahead of closure of the duty-free import window next month, and Treasury to settle 61 billion shilling KQ loans. The government will spend a total of 61.3 billion shillings in the next 4 years to service Kenya Airways loans it had guaranteed amid growing pressure from the International Monetary Fund to seize the handouts. So that is the Business Daily. Let's take a look at the Taifa Leo at this point in time. And this is it. As always, Taifa Leo captures quite concisely situations, and it asks the question, polisi au magenge? Maafisa wa usalama watumia mbinu za kihuni kuhangaisha wapinzani wa serikali pia wakiuka sheria. And on the front page here, we have those who have been targeted by the authorities. Maurice Ogeta alishikwa akatishiwa maisha kwa saa 72 na kutupwa barabarani Ruai usiku wa manane. Jomo Kenyatta, maafisa walivamia nyumbani kwa mwana wa Uhuru wakiwa katika gari lenye usajili wa nchi ya kigeni. Babu Owino alikamatwa usiku akapelekwa hadi Kirinyaga, akazuiliwa kabla ya kuwasilishwa kotini baada ya saa 24 zinazoruhusiwa kisheria. Maina Njenga tangu aripotiwe kukamatwa Jumatano wiki jana hajulikani aliko wala juhudi za kumpata hazijafua dafu. Anthony Oluoch, mbunge wa Mathare, alikamatwa Alhamisi, lakini hadi jana jioni hakuwa amefikishwa kotini wala kujulikana aliko. And these are just some of those who've been targeted by the authorities in the last few days as a result of the protests captured in this image below here. The caption here reads, dalili za utawala wa kiimla zaanza kujitokeza baada ya maafisa wa usalama kuanza kutumia ukatili kwa nyamazisha watu wanaodhaniwa kwa kikwazo kwa serikali. And the president has gone ahead to praise the police for their conduct. All right, also on the front page, ofisi ya Omtata yavamiwa. Hata hivyo, asema hati zake za kesi dhidi ya sheria ya fedha ziko sawa. And I see for the football fans, you're accommodated on the front page of the Taifa Leo, apart from the Gor Mahia story on Daily Nation. Red Devils wa pepeta the Gunners katika mechi ya kirafiki. Okay, so that is Taifa Leo. Let's take a look at the East African. And this is it. Museveni looks to West Africa for new milk market. With Kenya blocking dairy exports by Kenyatta firm and Algeria deal in limbo, Ugandan leader now woos Senegal as prices drop 73% and farmers cry foul. So this is the front page of the East African. I see here at the very top, Ruto between IMF and rioters. Kenya leader is implementing Bretton Woods measures to access loans while struggling to quell demos over them. And also on the front page of the East African, Kagame party fights clanism. Known for fostering national unity, RPF has moved to deal with influential members who coronated a clan chief. Let's take a look now at the Standard. And here we go. It reads, hustlers caught between a rock and a hard place. Let me just make sure that we have zoomed in close enough for you to get the best look. Here we go. And accompanying this headline is this caption alongside this image of a gentleman in a blaze. Ordinary Kenyans are worst affected by the high cost of living, a flailing economy and political turbulence. However, they also pay the heaviest price of protesting as they fall victims to police brutality and their daily sources of income become disrupted. And hustlers' views are contained on the front page, or are captured rather on the front page of the Standard there. Also sharing the front page is this story that's been highlighted. Kenya credit rating takes a blow after Fitch review. It's a special report. Prospects of accessing cheap loans were dimmed after the credit rating was revised to negative. At the very top here, 60,000 teachers refuse to teach junior secondary. Fresh dollar crisis looms on fuel bill. And that will leave the Standard at that point. I will refer to my hard copy here for the Star. And the front page story is why Ruto, Raila and Uhuru wore a risky gamble. Kenyatta tells president to face him as simmering row spills into public domain. Also on the front page, Ferdinand Waititu at the Milimani Law Courts on June 22nd. DPP fails in bid for more evidence in Waititu graft case. I'm curious what the EACC chair will have to say about this. The Director of Public Prosecutions has suffered a setback after the High Court declined to overturn a decision by a lower court that declined to admit more documentary evidence in support of the 586 million shilling graft case against former Kiambu Governor Ferdinand Waititu. Justice Nixon Sifuna dismissed the application. List of shame, police, judiciary, top complaints list for Kenyans, and I'll take a closer look at that. That is on page 7 at the very top here. Ruto backs police as Azimio alleges state-sanctioned killings in demos. So that is the Star. I think we've gone pretty much through everything. Let's quickly see what the People Daily has. Just loading it in a quick moment. Here we go. Uhuru, keep my family out of this. What does my mother, he's quoted as saying, have to do with anything? What do my children have to do with anything? If your problem is me, come for me. And that was the headline on, I believe, Saturday of the Daily Nation. Come for me. Russia is keen to strengthen ties with Africa is the other story on the front page of the People Daily. Kenyans cry out over police brutality. And let me just see if I can zoom in a little bit closer to see this better. Dr. Godfrey Hamatia of the Jaramogi Oginga Teaching and Referral Hospital attends to Tracy Aoko, 15, who was beaten by police officers at Nyalenda area in Kisumu, leaving her left ear chopped off. Joseph Owino is also, we have an image of him here also on the front page of the People Daily, who sustained injuries after an encounter with the police. I suppose the question is, as Taifa Leo put it, polisi au magenge. Former President Uhuru Kenyatta and currently serving President William Ruto, a retired president, comes out guns blazing against the Ruto administration, saying he will not be intimidated by harassment of his relatives, defends his bond with Raila and denies any role in Azimio demos. So this is it. This is the People Daily. I would like us to, because I believe we've pretty much taken a look at everything. I just want to quickly remind you what the topic of conversation is this morning before we take a quick break and go about the conversation with the chair of the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. A lot of questions have been raised even in the dailies yesterday and today. So here we go. I just want to pull up the weekly review. By the way, it is free and you can access it either with your Sunday Nation or on the epaper.nation.africa, and this is the headline that is there this week. Citadel of corruption. Out of graft, civil servants and politicians have turned into overnight billionaires, owning massive properties and large shares in blue chip companies in the last 8 months. Major cases have collapsed, adding credence to an argument that the elite are unwilling to tame the vice. So we'll be getting into more